This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
It is something that many of us have a challenge with, but it can and will move your life forward very fast. I've seen it, experienced it, heard it. Cover your ears. We're going to say the F word, and that is forgiveness. It is forgiveness. Yes, you need to forgive to move your life forward. How do you do that? How do you even approach it? Side note, that doesn't mean you condone what somebody may have done to you. That just means to release. So many different ways to do that, energetically, spiritually, and so much more. That's where I end, and I point to her as a Galactic Shaman, a Reiki master. She's an animal healer, sound healer. She does so much. I've learned so much, validated from her as well. Our professional of the year, Shayna Blackmar, is back with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to say it. I'm going to go there. I'm going to get personal. I'll share me as well. At this point in time, is there somebody that you know you need to forgive, but maybe you haven't done it or haven't fully done it?
I've worked on forgiving everything and everyone. There may be like a few layers that still need to be cleared with someone. But I feel like because I've consciously made the choice and the intention and done a lot of work with it, have cleared mostly everything right now. Because I know it just holds me back and I want to go forward.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing that. And layers, that's a good way to put it, because in one situation, I'm there. Let's say maybe like 80% there. And it's ongoing. It's kind of in real time too. So it's not like, well, that was years ago. So it presents as the timeline goes on. So it's in my face. So that makes it even harder. But interestingly, I walked into a restaurant last year and there's a guy sitting at the bar. It was a party, I was invited to something and I just had a minute. I'm just walking around, I walked past him. We started a conversation. Turns out he was the owner of the place. And he starts describing my situation. And then he starts saying how he forgave this person in his life. And I swear it was almost as if it was the universe smacking me like, bam, you need to forgive. And he moved on. He's doing great. Everything's fantastic. And I'll never forget it. I can't remember his name, but I can tell you where he was sitting, the conversation, I was almost like, I don't know what to say because you're describing me. But I think maybe the universe puts that stuff out there. So let's go to the fundamentals here. Why? Why do we need to forgive? What happens there?
So, it sounds like, yeah, the universe gave you exactly what you needed to hear with that guy.
Yeah.
And as far as why, I like the description because it's a nice visual where you can see the layers of thinking like we're an onion. Every negative or hurtful experience just builds up these layers that accumulate in our field, in our heart, and our various chakras. And so every time you do a forgiveness prayer or set the intention, you're literally peeling off these layers. And there are layers of things that we're not aware of that we maybe have done unconsciously or were from when we were a child, but the heart still knows and holds on to those things. The heart is our emotional center. The heart feels and knows everything. So the important part about forgiveness is responsibility. Every interaction is a two-way street. So not only did someone else maybe have done something hurtful, but you had your part to play in that interaction as well.
Totally.
However big or small it may be. So
I agree with you. and it's maybe we don't want to admit that, but It takes two, and
Mhm.
the scales could be massively tipped in your mind, where they may have done 75% of the things that weren't cool, and maybe you're 25%, but you were still part of it. And I guess that brings us to forgiving yourself, right?
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. The first thing to do is direct it to yourself always. Because even if you're not sure, you had some role to play, and then maybe that will become clear, maybe it won't. But if there's a wound there, there's a layer that needs to be healed and let go of. And then do it to whoever comes up, your mom, your dad, your partner, friend, someone who cut you off while you were driving, anywhere, just clear it, clear it, clear it.
Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's say that something just presented, you got cut off in traffic, and you get triggered for a second. I was like, what the? I've learned in my journey, I let it go very fast. Yes, it nobody got hurt, and then I looked like, all right, just let it go, and then 5 minutes later, it's totally forgotten. However, in the moment, should you be practicing a some kind of forgiveness technique, even in a mini situation like that?
Well, I think what we do up till that moment will allow us to handle it better or worse. And in the moment, you try and stay calm, try and stay grounded so that we have the best response possible. Um, and then afterwards, if there's some, cleanup that needs to be done, then do that. But in the
Gotcha.
moment, I don't know. I don't know that anyone could really do that in the moment. I guess it depends on the situation or the person. I don't think I could.
Well, would you do this in that moment? So somebody cuts you off, and you're like, What are you doing? And you're mad for a second, and then I try to, and I try to remember this. Maybe they were having a bad day. Maybe they just got a phone call that just blew their mind. Maybe they're working 3 jobs. They did an overnight. I'm not saying that's the right thing in terms of driving if you're tired, but understanding. But should you say to yourself, as it starts dissipating, your blood pressure went up for a second, and you're like, "Ugh." It's like, oh, okay. You know what? I forgive. Just say it, or in your mind, I forgive you. It's all good. Be well, and just wish him well, and then move on.
Well, you hit the nail on the head with how it's possible to forgive is to find that bigger, wider perspective. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they didn't sleep and they're exhausted and they're doing the best they can, whatever. Um, is to find that bigger, higher, wider perspective for anything. Somebody maybe treated you terribly, and if you zoom out and you can see, oh, they were treated terribly by their ex or their parents or whatever. And again, it's not about condoning that bad behavior, but finding a wider perspective so that you can rise above it, forgive, and let it all go. So yeah, using that wider perspective, maybe they're having a bad day or whatever. And then yeah, I personally, my favorite is the Hawaiian forgiveness prayer, the Ho'oponopono.
Yeah.
So I'll just send it to myself for okay, it's up for if I got angry or overreacted, and then to them, okay, have a good day, clear the air, send it to them.
Mm. So for the deeper ones, could there be a possibility that we have a lot of people to forgive, but we don't realize it? We buried it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I like to recommend to clients is always do yourself first. Um, and to say and do this forgiveness practice for like 10 minutes a day for a month.
Wow.
And it will just clear so many layers. It's life-changing. It's incredible. And so do it to yourself first for a few minutes, and then whoever comes up, if you run out of people, then send it to everyone you've ever hurt, knowingly and unknowingly. send it to everyone who's ever hurt you, knowingly and unknowingly, so that you're
Um,
clearing stuff that you're not necessarily conscious of, but you know there's still a layer there.
wow. That's actually really cool. Knowing and not unknowingly, just to get it out of the way. Because could it be you're holding on to stuff like we talk about cords. We all these cords that need to get cut. They're all over the place. Um, could there be little things from years ago that you don't even know? It's floating around somewhere in your energy field, subconscious, whatever. Um, that layers deeper that you need to cut that or forgive them.
Yeah, 1000%. If you haven't addressed it, it's there. If you haven't set that conscious intention to clear it, to forgive whatever it is. And so, there's cords to people, but also to events and experiences that that need to be cleared, that are just basically, the past is heavy. It's weight. It keeps us waiting. And
Mm.
so without clearing it, we stay a little heavy. We stay um, locked into the past. We stay locked into the 3D.
So we talked about the Hawaiian forgiveness prayer. What are some of the other things that we can do, other techniques that we can do to forgive?
Hmm. You can write the person a letter, and not just one. Actually, I was working with this really great numerologist a few months ago, and for myself personally, and she recommended doing, based on the numbers in my chart and everything, writing a letter to my mom every day for 3 weeks, and then to my dad as
Mm.
well. And it didn't have to be long. It didn't have to be in depth, but clear what's coming up, clear what you remember, but also include things that you're grateful for, good moments, good memories. And that 3 weeks gives you a lot of time to clear a layer, layer, layer. And then at the end of the 3 weeks, do what you want with them. I wouldn't necessarily show them to the person. It's more for your healing, throw them away, burn them. But writing something down and burning it is a good way to literally and energetically transmute it into something better.
I'm learning from the best right here because what you just said, I shared with somebody an hour and a half ago, and I'll laser the story down, but they got a phone call a week or so ago that their father had passed. They haven't seen their father since they were 2 years old. He just gone. That was it. No connection. That's it. The person that, I guess found his dad expired and the whole situation somehow a neighbor or whatever tracked down my friend. So my friend went to another state, was there making plans and things like that. And kind of heavy, he had totally disconnected from his dad, but let's be honest, it's your dad. It's your biological father. There is that, there's a connection. There could be anger. There could be sadness. There'd be a lot of emotions. And I said, just what you said. I said, you need to write your dad a note, a letter, and go deep and put it there and go out to the backyard, to your fire pit and just burn it. And he gets it. I mean, he's completely on board for everything that we talk about. He does shadow work on himself, and he's like, yeah, I never thought about that. I know it sounds cheesy. I told him, but you are releasing it. You're getting it out of you, and now you're seeing it. Don't type it. You're seeing it in front of you on a page. So therefore, it's real. It's tangible now. Symbolic, and you might see things come up, but you took it steps further, and I never thought of this. But mom or dad, somebody close to you, write it every day. Again, not long, because things come up along the way. What a great idea. Wow. You could even put all of those letters together and burn them all together, symbolically releasing it to the universe and such. Interesting. Any other ideas that we can do, for forgiveness?
Those are my top two favorites that I found are the most effective, and um, the fastest. So that's really what I stick with because you're really transmuting. You're not messing around.
Hmm.
So those are the two that I stick with.
Gotcha. Um, what else can you tell us about forgiveness? Anything, these little nuggets of information that can make this maybe easier?
Finding the wider perspective I think, makes it the easiest because whether it's something small or big, it's it's hurtful no matter what because there's an understanding that that person made a conscious choice to to either hurt you or to not care about the consequences of their actions. And that hurts deeply, whatever it is, whether
Hmm.
it's, a big or a little trauma, that hurts our heart, right? And so we have to zoom out. We have to find a neutral, come up into divine neutrality, watch the movie of life that we've talked about before, or, however you see it, and find a bigger perspective, find a silver lining. Oh, you know what? That was a really horrible experience. However, what I gleaned, what I learned, what I received from that experience is X,
Hmm.
Y, and Z that were positive. Hold on to those things and be like, okay, that was the point, was for me to learn these things. I don't need to hold on to the past anymore. So it finding the higher perspective, but also making the conscious choice to let go of the past to move forward. Because if we don't let go of the past, we can't move forward. There's not space.
And I'm sure there's a lot of us that know there are people that need to be forgiven, but then there's also the ones, as I'm thinking now, a little bit deeper, that are floating out there of all little things that have come up in your life that you just filed away. They bothered you, it hurt you, and you put it off to the side, but it's still in the back of you. It's still energetically taking something away from you.
Mhm.
What if they say that hurt people hurt people? So let's say somebody has hurt you and you've connected the dots. You're somewhat aware of where they came from in their life, and maybe you come to terms with, I see now it's clear that's why they did that, because of whatever, their childhood, their parent situation, whatever it might be. How do we find the grace to understand that and make it easier to forgive?
Mm, that's a good question. Yeah, I'm hearing you have to go into the heart, put fear aside, put ego aside, and make the conscious choice to come from love. And love forgives
Mm.
anything and everything. Everyone deserves a second chance or whatever. Not that um, they necessarily need to come back into your life, but everyone deserves the chance to make changes, to grow, to um, be free, right?
Mm.
Do you want to be free? I do. I'm going to
Hell
let
yeah.
go of everything I can so that I can be free.
I think I'm
Um,
even going to put it on my phone as a reminder, like intentionally, because honestly, I'm going to say it, and I have a post-it note over here that says, "Write a letter to mom, write a letter to dad." They're no longer here, but it's on my list. But I'm going to be very honest. I kind of avoid it. I've been avoiding it.
it's hard to get started, but if you look at it um, from a neutral perspective of I need to, or like, I guess it comes down to what do you want?
Mm.
If you want to move forward, if you want to let go of the past, then that has to be done. And, do it with love, with grace, ask your light team, your higher self to support you. So, like, I know this is going to be difficult. Please help me do it. because I want to move forward. I want to raise my vibration. I want to heal this. I want to let go of this, whatever it is that's
Mm,
coming up for you. Um, because we have to let go of it. But I mean, we are so much stronger than we realize. If you
yeah.
set the intention, you could do it. You could do anything.
Yeah, totally.
You
And you
know,
know what?
it may not be comfortable at first, but you're going to feel so much better afterwards.
I just got a flash in my mind, Shayna, where we do things, or we should, self care. You know, take a walk in the woods, get a massage, get your nails done, whatever it is for you. The time that you take for yourself to make yourself feel better, make this one of them. You know, make this part of that, because you may not see it, but it's going to make you feel better and it's going to move your life forward. So let's say that somebody is here, they still exist, haven't passed on or anything like that. You want to forgive them, but and you have the courage to release them. You're going to tell them, yeah, it could be a text that, yeah, I just want you to know, I forgive you. Is that the ultimate of the release? Sure, putting a letter in a fire and all these other energetic ways of doing it, spiritually, uh, pushing the forgiveness forward and then releasing it to the universe. But is the ultimate actually, if you can and it fits, verbalizing it or in a text, saying it?
I don't, no, that doesn't feel like you don't even have to necessarily talk to the person ever again to forgive them.
Oh
It's
no, I'm with you. I'm
yeah.
1000% on your page. I got you. I'm there. It's all good. Yes, it's very effective. You don't need to have contact. But if you did, you were able to, and it
Um,
fit. Would it make it even a little bit better?
yeah, I think it depends. What I'm hearing is it depends on the situation and the person, and
Mm,
because it depends on where the other person's at. If they're ready to receive it, fantastic. It could be a really beautiful moment for the two of you. If they're not, they're going to get super defensive, come from ego, and that could cause a lot of conflict. Um,
yes.
so yeah, feeling like it really depends on the situation and the person, and to
Yes.
tune into your heart and ask, okay, should I contact this person or should I just do it on my own personally? And I actually really like what you said before, about how things are self-care, but including a massage. And you could, liken it to getting a massage to doing forgiveness, because sometimes, I don't know about you, but when I get a massage at first, it's uncomfortable because things are tight and working out knots, and that doesn't always feel good. But
Mhm.
afterwards, feels
Yeah.
amazing.
But
So yeah, give yourself a forgiveness massage, work out the knots, and then
yeah.
feel
And
amazing.
but here's the thing, the known and the unknown. You go for a massage, you know, usually, unless it's not a good massage therapist, you know you're going to feel better. That's a given. You know what that's going to be like. This is until you do it, uncharted territory. So you're not looking at it as self-care. You're looking more as like, oh, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, well, maybe we just need to change it. It is self-care
It is.
because you will feel way better on the other side of it. It may take longer than an hour, like a massage, but you will feel better. And doing the Ho'oponopono 10 minutes a day for a month, life-changing. Like you may just cry and cry and cry and you don't know what, but it is clearing all kinds of amazing heaviness, I swear. It's incredible.
I've heard about it for years. I've never done it. I
Try
just
it.
I
Just try
just
it.
wrote it down, and I have an assignment. I'm gonna I'm gonna do it and share it with others, because there's a reason people have been talking about it for a a long time, thousands of years. I don't know, hundreds. Yeah, and
Yeah, sorry, I feel like that one is so effective and powerful because one, it's simple, but two, it's really it focuses on the self-responsibility part and acknowledging your own um, your own role. Like we have to be responsible for our own actions. We can't mature and rise in vibration until we are, courageous and willing to look at ourselves, to look at
Mm,
our truth,
yeah.
to forgive ourselves, because it's all about coming back into love and, seeing the truth of whatever we've done, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and wrapping it all up in love, acceptance, forgiveness. It's all about
Mm.
love.
Thank you for today. This is like so important, and many of us don't see, myself included. I know it's good. I know I got that, but I guess I don't see it strong enough as good because I haven't done it. So this is it, changing it up here for everybody. Uh, you could just do a search,
Try it out.
yeah, for Hawaiian forgiveness poem, prayer, whatever you want to call it. Write it down, copy it. I'm going to put it on the inner page of my gratitude journal because I look at it every day and I write in it. So why not include that, for a few minutes? There's a little piece of what you offer in terms of helping people move their lives forward with a lot of different things that we got going on. How do we connect with you? If somebody wants to talk with you. I've had sessions with you. Oh, amazing. How do we connect?
Wonderful. Thank you. My website is great at Vurusha.com, Vurusha. And then social media, I'm on Instagram at Shayna Blackmar Healing.
Beautiful. Thank you for today. It was another reminder. We know we need to. You've known it since you were a kid. Forgive and forget. There's a reason that's been a mantra for many, many years, and it's all for these reasons. Thank you for today, Shane. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll talk
Thank
soon.
you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.